bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You could see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my...
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. DeAndre Washington, his first carry. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 36-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. The handoff right side, it's Washington. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The sack there by J.J. Watt. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
DJ Moore went through some ups and downs his rookie season, but really came on strong late in the year. Finished with 55 catches, the most among Panthers not named Christian McCaffrey. And now with Devin Funchess gone to Indianapolis, he's going to be the true WR1 for the Panthers.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Jones on the return. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. Trying to pound it in with Washington. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. DeAndre Washington, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 44, Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
31. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check.
Watson on 3rd down. He finds his target, Fuller. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll toss it to Miller. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. From the 50, it's Watson. And this is caught by Fowles, right side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now the Texans will burn the first. To their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Here's Newton. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Brandon Dunn in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will make our score 9-0. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. And tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Watson setting up the screen for Miller. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Watch twitch. Watch the 24. Mike by 4. Mike by 4. Henry. It's a party now.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. Yeah, he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Newton. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the...
Greg Olsen, nobody ahead of him. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They come out here in the I. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Try to power it in with Arma. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
comes Houston. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Watson. He's letting this one go for it. Got his man complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
He was covered by Dante Jackson.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
The final shot before the break. Watson. He's going to wind up in air into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. On 2nd and 9, Watson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
At the 39-yard line.
Mike's by four.
Hey, watch that.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this throw will be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Newton now to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to 4th. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he's across the 40. 3 extra yards to the 43. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Watson hands this to Foreman. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now Watson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
A gain of 12 yards. It's now 3rd down and 4.
Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Check, check. Lucky, alert. Down him, go.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Down him, go. 54, right there.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Alert. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch. Me and you all day. Down him, go. I'm coming after you.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson, that is caught at the 7-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll go with Foreman. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans draw a bit closer. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And this is back to a 5-point game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
At their own 25-yard line.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Off play action. Newton. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown the last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Here's Jones. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go.
From the 39, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hopkins. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Hey, watch that.
Here's Foreman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
On first down, it's Watson. And that's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's get off the field.
Throwing again is Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there, first down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now Foreman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Come on, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Back to throw. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
The Panthers take over first down at their own 25-yard line.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Newton to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn into a big gain. It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. But he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, but it's going to be second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. He'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards the pickup there.
And a Panther first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Newton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
Come on now, let's go.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
This is it. Great team. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. And let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Watson now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Fuller. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
One last throw here for Watson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen?